Hey everyone, so I'm trying to do Feral POV for Mythic this tier. Trying to upload those videos, so I did do Vexy. I haven't yet uploaded my Carnage one, but I'm going to be doing that. And then I haven't been in on Rick yet, and then I played Balance for Sticks. But my guild just recently killed Sprocket, and I wanted to make a little video on it for those of you that might be stepping into Mythic Sticks and want to understand sort of how that might look and how that might feel from a Feral POV. So I will show that. But really quickly, I just want to show you guys the build that everyone seems to be playing. So pretty much there's like uniformity here. Everyone's playing the exact same build. I guess maybe if you really didn't want to, you could maybe drop Looter Inspiration and go MOC. I always say that because I always get complaints from people who go, I don't want to play Moonfire and Catform. But no, it's the standard stuff. Adaptive Swarm and Feral Frenzy. Playing Convoke. All the usual suspects. Running Apex, obviously, because of our tier set. So that's the build there for Sprocket. It's just a pure single target. Wild Stalker. And then, yeah, maybe some variants in like class stuff, but it, whatever feels cozy, comfy there. But yeah, so that's that in terms of build and everything. Now, I managed to do actually a real solid job on this boss during prog. I actually felt really good on it. It's not actually as hectic as you would think. Everything's sort of pre-planned on this boss, so you know who's going to be popping mines and when. And there's a weak aura that tells you. Apart from that, you're just trying to dodge rockets, trying to make sure you're on your same polarity, and not get sucked into the magnets and whatnot. So very few things that you have to like super stress about on this actually, unless you're assigned very specific responsibilities. So let's get into this. We'll talk through it. I like to start the pull or like pre-pull with adaptive swarms running out, so I will just put them on one person and then just follow that stack and just keep putting adaptive swarms on that. So hopefully then when we pull the boss, I can go in with a adaptive swarm available, ready to be used, like the off cooldown, and then also a swarm can jump as well. So hopefully, the perfect combo would be as we start combat, the swarm jumps to the boss, and then I have my one in reserve or whatever. So I try and do that before each pull, so that I have swarms, and I did find that it did increase my DPS a decent amount, because I just had better swarm uptime as a result.
Okay,
So I'm going to go in here. So the only thing you have to worry about on pull is what polarity you're going to get, whether it's going to be blue or red. So you're just fully doing your single target rotation. You don't have to do any sort of like variant stuff. And then you're looking out for mines. Now, I never got assigned the first set of mines, so if your guild doesn't assign you the first set, which they probably shouldn't, they're probably going to be on all the healers, then you should be good to just be pumping here, making sure that you're on the correct polarity. And then there's no real mechanic that you have to worry about, except for just moving across here. Now, I always had a rule that if the boss didn't move, I didn't move. And I will just mimic the boss's movement and allowed for good uptime. So, sorry, I know that the clarity is a bit rough. I'm going to be recording in better res going forward. So that shouldn't be as much of an issue going forward for you guys. But then we're just watching out for mines. I didn't get assigned this set either. And then we have a polarity swap incoming. I'm just looking to, the rotation is very, standard stuff. Trying to make sure that I'm using Feral Frenzy on cooldown. Trying to make sure that I'm getting my Rake and my Moonfire in their pandemic windows. Trying to make sure that I'm manipulating my rotation so that my Rake is sudden ambushed and is always refreshed in that pandemic window. So sometimes I'll do like a Rake Thrash Brutal Slash, or or like a Rake Shred Brutal Slash. Sometimes I'll do a Brutal Slash Thrash, and then I'll hold, and then I'll send the Rake when the Rake's in its pandemic window. So we deal with these mines. Drills are going out. You don't get assigned drills as melee, so you don't have to worry about them. And then we get pulled in. So I'm just trying to fight against it here. You can see I do a camera shift just so I can get the angle better.
Chilling here and hitting the boss.
And you can see my movements are very stutter-steppery, because I don't want to fully commit to any one movement, so that way I can more easily, people can better see your intent when you sort of stutter-stepping in one direction rather than just fully committing. So, polarity here, same polarity, so I've been blue this whole time, but even if you're having to swap, it's really not hard. As soon as you see swap polarity, you can just move over to the other group. We get knocked over here, the other group has to gateway. And then this is where your second set of cooldowns comes up. It will come up here every time. So you have to commit your cooldowns during this pull. And it is very, it's a little bit sussy at times. So, yeah. It is a little bit sussy. Just do your best there with the WASD. We then rotate around to our
Blues
sides.
are in the middle. Red's on the edge. Hanny's going.
Switch polarity here. No, I didn't get a mine again.
Blue.
I generally didn't get this set either.
Hanny's going. Insta.
But the previous set we had, sometimes I'd be on that assignment. Sometimes I'd be on the next assignment.
1. Then Sleepy will pop. And
So then we're dragging across here. Well, I thought we were dragging across here. But you see, like, with my movement as well, I'm dodging mines with the movement. So I'm always being aware of that space there. See where the X marker is? Always being just aware of that space because that's where you're going to see mines. Where X is, where Skull is. So you're going to see our movement here. Now, what I'm going to make sure I do is... And you can watch my rotation in your own, like, leisure, but... I'm going to look to re-rip here, re-rake, re-moonfire, refresh all of my dots before we're moving across. So you can see here, I get a full rip in Tiger Fury, I get a full rake, full moonfire, then we're moving across. And you can see there's a mine that's about to spawn here, and I do not want to hit that. If I hit that, we probably wipe. But the boss is there, and I want to get uptime. So I dip in, I get a little bit of uptime, then I move back around. You might say, well, sorry, that was a little bit of a wasted movement. It didn't really seem like you got too much value. Well, what I would say is, like, as Feral, you just don't want to be maxed on energy. So even if I can get a couple globals in to prevent me from maxing on energy, then I'm looking good. But also, sometimes the boss would stop right at the end of that conveyor belt. So it just made sense for me to, like, get some uptime there. Because you might stop there for a few seconds. And as long as I stayed on my red side, then it was okay to do that. Now we get a cursed drill here. A little bit cursed. Not too terrible.
Just watch these rockets.
But then we're just dodging rockets, and we got beams. And we're just pumping, same polarity. So I'm going to get one more set of cooldowns now. And it's going to come again at a very awkward time. So the 2-minute point is when you're going to be doing either gateways or getting knocked back. And that's something just to, like, keep in mind and something you can match up there. I did find on this boss, you didn't really need to assign, like, hard assign defensives and stuff like that. Just kind of use them as and when you need. Here's a really good time. If you do get sucked into the beam, you take, like, 1,000,000 per tick. And, yes, you got healing cooldowns going, but it might just be helpful. I used my SI there. So that's normally where I found, like, it was helpful. Anytime there were magnets and beams where you were getting sucked into. I mean, that's a prime example. That's probably just an SI angle. So I'm on red here.
Red's ahead.
And then switch polarity, so it's red's ahead. So I go over here with blue. One of the reds stays in there. So I get knocked back from the red. And then this is a very specific movement here. So the gateway is here. Now the gateway needs to get repositioned. Yeah, there it is. Okay, so the gateway gets repositioned. Perfect. I was going to say that needs to get repositioned because we want to get sent over there to the left, not to the right, because that's going to be covered in lightning. So this lightning's coming down. You can see this boss is casting beta launch. As soon as that hits like the 0.2, 0.3, I'm pressing my gateway keybind. And I just had it on mouse scroll wheel down. And you're going to see me get knocked back, but I've pressed gateway there. So it comes through, it like registers the gateway and sends me. So it's super tight. What would happen on one of the pulls, I took the gateway a little bit too early and I landed and then got knocked back. So you do have to be careful about that. But then, just hitting the boss here, and this was a cooldown window, I believe.
Probably a mage, might be packed there, might be skitting, ready in Africa. This is blues on the edge, reds in the middle.
And then get disoriented. I mean, it's just unfortunate, but whatever. Switch polarity, so I'm red, so I'm switching over here. Now, we have a good raid leader, so he was able to just talk us through everything. So you kind of just can listen out for that. I honestly really don't think this fight is too hard for melee. Even if you have a mine assignment, I mean, I'd love to show you one. You just wait till your dot, till the dot drops off. Then you look for your number. Like, let's say you're the third soak. You just go soak the third one on the map. Super easy to follow.
All balls. Rally every personal. Do not get hit.
I get my second potion here, and I use my second potion. I probably could have saved my last set of cooldowns for that potion, and I would have eked out a little bit of extra damage here. But you're in that window where I thought I might even get an extra set of cooldowns, right? You don't know what's going to happen, especially on a first kill. It might be a little bit messy. If the boss is alive for another 20 seconds, I get another cooldown set. And we have 3 people dead. So imagine if we had a few extra people dead, boss probably would live that 20 seconds, and then I've got cooldowns. So I don't think holding cooldowns is necessarily a good deal. But that was the kill there. Managed to get a decent little kill. And And yeah, hopefully that's a decent video for you guys there, just to see some of the POV of Feral, see what I'm doing. You can obviously watch the rotation, see things there. I mean, I was all over it with my sudden ambush and making sure I'm getting my rakes there. On most pulls, like this, like I will say, this was the last pull of the night. So we've been raiding for 4 hours. So we were on this guy. I think we were on this guy for a full 4 hours. I played this boss very comfortably, very clean. And the last few pulls of the night, I started to play less good. But still managed to get in a decent, I mean, it got 100 percentile log, played it well, didn't make any mistakes, like massive rotational mistakes, didn't get anybody, killed or anything. So, hey, we'll take it. But yeah, all throughout, I was doing real good. Like, if it was in my Tiger Fury window and I didn't have sudden ambush, Shadow Meld Rake, stuff like that. Sending Feral Frenzy on cooldown. I was experimenting with delaying my second Tiger Fury just ever so slightly, and it would mean that my second Feral Frenzy would get in in that second Tiger Fury window. But I messed around with it, and I just thought, you know what, I'm not going to delay anything, and I just sent things on CD. And it all worked out. But yeah, hopefully this video was helpful for you guys. Thanks for watching. If you want to see other bosses, let me know. I'll give you some one-arm bandit kill vids as soon as I've got them. But thanks for watching. Take care.